Tired of tattoo chairs that squeak, wobble, and feel like you're tattooing on a folding lawn chair from 1982? Say goodbye to imported pain and hello to the Chariot Tattoo Chair, the only throne fit for an artist and their canvas. Crafted right here in the good old US of A, the Chariot Tattoo Chair is more American than a bald eagle riding a Harley through a fireworks show. No tariffs, no shipping delays, just pure economic freedom. We're talking lumbar support that'll cradle your client's spine like it owes them money, armrests that adjust faster than your last relationship, and a 360-degree swivel that'll have you spinning like a DJ at a block party. Stop torturing your back and your client's dignity. Upgrade to the Chariot Tattoo Chair, because your art deserves better than a glorified bar stool. The Chariot Tattoo Chair. Sit proud, ink loud.
This is The Chairman and the Artist, where vision meets creation. Let's talk. Hello there, good morning. This is Rafael. I'm a former tattoo artist. Also used to own a tattoo shop. Next to me is
Vaca. I own Graffiti City, City MV.
brought to you from Reno, Nevada. Today is May 14, 2025. And we have a special guest with us here from all the way from Europe, all the way from a country named Germany, Mr. Rudy Palominos.
Hey
Say hello,
guys.
Mr. Rudy.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, hi, my name is Rudy Palominos, and I'm living in Germany. Some of you may know me, some of you may not know me, but I lived in Reno from September 2004 until November 2020. So yeah, 16 years. Lived in Reno and was on the radio out there and became real good friends with you two gentlemen and everybody else at the shop that you used to own, Raf. And friends became family, and so it's great to talk to you guys and see you guys again.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, at the tattoo shop, that's where you started your family too, huh?
Yeah, very true, very true. Met my ex, my ex-wife at the tattoo shop, and yeah, that's why we're in Germany, because she's from Germany, and you know, yeah, things
Things
happen.
moved on.
Yeah, you meet people, and we decided to go for it, and we have a beautiful child. But so I mean, now we're not together anymore, but we still have a great relationship and raise our son together, and I have the utmost respect for her, and I think the same for she does for me too. So yeah, it's all good. Life is life, and as long as our son is number one, so yeah,
Sounds like a civil family. Nice,
Oh, absolutely,
you're not
absolutely.
being barbaric.
Absolutely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Even in separation and divorce, I know I married the right person. So that's
Good job. Hey,
yeah.
before you came to Reno, where were you at, or where were you
So I'm
born?
originally born and raised in Modesto, California. So I'm Northern Californian, and I was working for a radio station in Merced, Hot 105 or 104.7 KHTN. And I started there in June of '99 until I got the job in Reno in 2004. And then there I was working for Wild 102.9. And then after that, I just kind of hopped around, worked for the Dot for a quick second, and then I worked for Z93.7, and then I worked for Alice 96.5, then became the program director of Swag, and worked on Swag, and then did traffic reports on the radio and on the TV station for Channel 2. I ended up doing a lot of things, and then even after I got let go from that company, I worked at another one of the radio station clusters real quick before I ended up moving to Germany. So
So
just a lot of
radio was your career life.
radio was the career, but art has always been the passion. So even with radio, I would still continue to draw my sketchbook or paint when I can, or just even when hanging out with you guys, just being around creative people just always makes you want to be creative too as well. So That was always just a fun time, just doing stuff with you guys too.
Yeah, I'm glad that we would help out each other on art. You come by the shop and show us your art, and we show you our art. Whether it was tattooing, this fucker was always doing graffiti stuff,
Right,
and
right.
and to the point that he followed his dreams and became a graffiti store owner slash graffiti muralist. He's a muralist now. You know, went from
Yeah, I'm proud
tattered.
of Rock. I loved it. I love it.
Yeah,
I
man,
love
we're killing it over here,
it. Yeah, I
man.
know you guys are. I know you guys are killing it. I see it. I see it.
I got
Yeah.
Graph with me.
Well,
Yeah.
we go together. We go do some of these projects together, and it's
Right.
kind of cool because working as a team, we can get the work done faster.
Uh-huh.
We get creative. We bullshit. We have a little bit of music.
Right.
Um, versus some of the other artists, they kind of working by themselves. It's got to be a
And just
little
a lot.
lonely.
Yeah, it's tiring sometimes, especially if you're doing a large piece of work and you don't have any help. I mean, even if it's just for fills, maybe if it's not for details or whatever, but if you have somebody there, you can just, I need you to do it this color, and that helps a lot.
That's what he does. I do the fill in, and then he comes in and
Right,
does the
and does
detail.
all the good stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still have a
You're,
trouble.
you're a badass, Vacaso. It's always been Vacaso. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
thank you, man. Hell
yeah.
yeah, thank you.
For real,
But you should
for
see
real.
Raph. Raph is fucking killing it now. He's
Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah.
I'm sure. I've been trying to teach my son. I've been trying to teach my son. My son's 7, and I have some of the water based cans for him too as well. And now
Yep.
that the weather's getting better over here, I mean, he's not necessarily. I mean, he's learning his own can control and techniques because I kind of let him do what he wants to do. But it's just fun to see him with the spray can and want to do it. Because I always anytime it comes to art, and he wants to get creative, if there's time and there's space, yeah, of course. Of course. I'm never going to tell him not to be creative. I'm never going to tell him not to express himself or anything like that. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's fun. Painting with cans is fun. Whether you're old like us or you're a little kid.
It's the
There's
same
something.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
got my little
intriguing.
granddaughter doing the same. She's beginning to draw a lot. So
Uh-huh.
I might just release her in the backyard and maybe start painting little fish. I have a whole blue wall and make it
Right.
like an underwater. Make it. Just let her start adding simple little fishes that
Whatever
she
they want.
grows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun with teaching the little ones too. For me, this fucker's an instructor now. Tell him where you're at, man. Tell him what's.
Oh, we're at the generator. We're giving out classes every Saturday from
Yeah.
what time? From 12.
Yeah, from
One at 12 and one at 5. Yeah,
So
every
noon at
Saturday.
5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
he's got
That's
a
cool.
couple of people signing up. He figured out how to put that on the website, how to make
And
flyers.
that's in Reno, right? That's in Reno.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
the old Lowe's on Audi Boulevard, right behind the McDonald's.
Oh
By
yeah,
the
yeah. Uh huh.
Okay,
I know.
highway.
Yeah, I
we
know what
had
you're
that.
talking about.
Wait, where is that?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the number Tidal Wave is that. Tidal Wave, which is Jay's shop, he's just down
Yeah,
the street in the same area. But
yeah.
that became the generator.
Okay,
And I've been telling Vaca, you should go down there and talk to these guys. But finally he fucking said, hey, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And he
good.
signed up. He's got a class going. So we
Mm-hmm.
actually have a graffiti classes happening in Reno. We already have
Nice.
at least one student showed up. We're hoping more people will bring their kids or loved ones.
It takes time. It takes time, especially
Well,
if it's
what's the
brand
age
new.
that we're doing it from?
13.
Yeah,
He's we're trying to go for 30 because we noticed when
yeah.
we had events. We had an event at the Shopper Square. We had a spray paint event. A lot of people showed up with their kids, and the kids were just going at it. But we saw that the little ones were having problems with the
Right,
squeezing it
right.
and stuff like that. Where
Yeah,
I told them, dude, you might want to start doing it from
just too
maybe.
small. Their hands are too small. I've seen a product. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Night Quill or something like that, maybe. And it's an adapter that you could put actually on the can that makes it easier to depress.
Is that
But
the
I
one
mean,
we?
when you
Yeah, they're right there.
yeah, I mean, I think maybe I don't know.
I think it's
Uh,
this one.
yeah, possibly,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
it's this one because
yeah,
Waka showed
possibly.
me how to use this one the other day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is
But
pretty cool.
I don't know how much they are, or if it would be worth it, you know. But yeah, you're right. Even
It might be
with
worth
little
it,
kids,
and we might just do it all ages.
yeah,
That would
yeah.
be
It's
the
like
cool thing.
my son used both hands, so he uses one to hold the bottom of it, and then he uses his thumb, and he goes psst, like this. He
Yeah.
holds the can like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that little trigger will give you that motion right there.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
Easier. Yeah,
Uh,
we might just make it all ages.
well, yes, as long as you supply that little thing for them and let them know that,
Yeah.
before you go handing that can, put the adapters on there. I put the adapter, but I could figure out how to take it off with you last time when we did
Yeah.
that piece. I was like, this is going to sound stupid, but I'll ask him later. Yeah, we've been having fun doing the murals in town. We're gonna do some murals this weekend over at the Fernley. The what's today? The
Infernal
15th, the
is
16th
it
to the
uh,
17th.
17th, yeah.
is
Margaritas,
it a
art and margaritas mural.
is it a private commission or a public work?
No, it's a public thing at the
Public
like
work.
it's gonna be a whole festival. It's
Oh,
the
oh, good.
whole week actually.
Oh,
Last time he landed a job in Carson, and I thought it was like a private job. And
mm-hmm.
we did this fucking train, and fuck, we busted ass from 5 a.m. to
The
let's
whole
say
day.
3 or 4 p.m. We kicked ass and we finished that
Wow.
fucking train. But we thought we were just doing it, and then we walked around. There was graffiti, there was artists all around doing pieces. Like, motherfucker, we're part of a festival.
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't know.
Wow.
We didn't even know that we were part of a festival.
No wonder these people kept coming by. Like,
Yeah, we
what?
had
Ah.
people walking by and checking out our work and complimenting us. You know.
So you guys didn't even mingle with the other artists or anything like that? You didn't even know
Oh,
that there was
we didn't know until we kind of went around the corner. We took a little smoke break, so we had to kind of go hide a little bit.
right,
And then we
right.
noticed another guy painting. It's like, hey, bro, there's a guy over here. And then we went hiding on the other side because I had to go take a leak.
Hey, bro, there's
And
another guy over here.
there's another guy. The fuck? I think we're part of a festival, fucker. You know?
Yeah, and then we got some goodie bags and stuff.
Yeah, we actually got invited to the after party. We got some goodie bags.
Yeah, we didn't even know about none of that.
See? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
See, moving into the goodie bag status. That's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
they handed
It's
us a
always nice
t-shirt
when you
too.
get when you go. It's always nice when you go to events and you leave with a little bag. They give you a little bag. They're like, "Oh, thanks for coming." You know. Yeah.
Yeah, we got fed, everything. Huh? It was
Yeah, we were hungry, man, so it was nice. They hooked it up with some water, some we
Mm-hmm.
had a beer. I couldn't drink too much. I don't want to be drinking and driving.
Driving.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Good
so I
idea.
had a beer, then I had a whole bunch of munchies. They have munchies there, so I was like, fuck, I better something than nothing. And we just hit it and we mingled with some other
You're
artists.
stuffing your pockets. You got your pockets full.
Yeah, take some with you, vato. Give me some tater tots. Oh, eat my
Oh.
tater tots. Oh
Mhm.
shit! Right, but this time, we're gonna go to Fernley. They asked if we want to spend the night, but we told them, nah, it's 1 hour drive back, 30 minutes drive back. I'd rather go home and sleep on my
Like, we'll
comfortable
see, but
bed.
even then, you never know. You could, I mean, did they like spend the night like you guys camp there, or spend the night they put you up in a hotel? Because even
At
that could be, you know,
the one in Maka, we're gonna be getting a hotel. We're gonna have to
uh,
spend the night over there. I don't want to be
yeah,
driving 2 hours back.
right,
But we could do this shit in 1 hour, bro. I mean, in 1 hour, in one day.
yeah,
And one day, we've been doing some serious big projects.
good,
Uh,
yeah. I'm
eh,
out.
it, it was fucking fun going to the one in Carson. I can't wait to go to this one. They don't pay a lot, but this fucker hustles it. He's like, nah, man, you got to pay me. I got a partner, and we're gonna do
Right,
this
right,
shit
right, right. You
fast.
got to drive. You got the you got all your materials. You got the time. You got to plan it out. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And right now,
Let
we're
them know your
also
worth. Let them know your worth.
yeah, like this fucker. We were gonna get paid 1,000 for that training. We ended up getting 2,000.
Okay.
but we finished it in one day, and we saved the
Right.
money on the hotels and stuff like that also. So
True.
they
Yeah.
gotta pay a little bit more, which is good. We worked it out with Eric. Eric
But
is
you're
a guy.
profi. Du
Huh?
bist Profi. Du bist Profis, Professionals. Profi.
Oh yeah.
Profi. Oh, yeah.
And the other thing is that, Vaca with the graffiti store, we're reaching out to the artists that are coming out from different parts because it's not all Reno. They're coming from Oregon, Salt Lake, Seattle, San Francisco. One of them was from Brazil last time, or some out of the country. This guy brings them from all different parts of the world,
Right.
which
Right.
is pretty cool.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
and we had fun. I can't wait to go to do this one, and get the fuck out of the house. Because I've been staying at home sometimes watching too much Netflix, too much fucking YouTube.
Too much TV. Period. Too much TV. Period. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. But at least YouTube, I'm learning. I'm learning some shit. I do a lot of trying to. This is how I'm learning how to do this to the
Right. You're yeah.
YouTube.
So how many podcasts have you done? Which one? Do you know which one this is right now? Do we know yet? Like what number it is? Or
This
no?
one is gonna be this one. I think you're 20. You're number
I'm number
20.
20. Okay. All
Might
right.
be
All
number
right.
20 or 21. You might be
Bang.
21. You might be lucky like 21, old enough to eat,
Okay.
to drink. I mean,
Okay. To drink.
and
Yeah.
gamble too. You can
Yeah.
gamble once you. Uh, and then
Well, they
text
well
me
they
up.
they let them drink young here. They let them drink young here in Germany. I
What?
think.
How old do they have to be in Germany to go get a beer?
I think it's
18.
like 18 or 16. Like yeah, like they're not tripping too much, but you got to be like I think 18 to drive. So they're not letting like teenagers drive. You can't be
Oh,
16 and have a license, but you could
oh,
have a beer.
okay. That's kind of cool. Well, I don't know if you know the history of beer over there, but that was a health thing where that
Yeah,
was
of course.
what
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
Because
what
the
it
water,
was.
yeah, the
You
water
could
wasn't
drink the
healthy to
water.
drink. So you had to cook it, and why not make beer? You
Yeah,
know?
and beer
Yeah.
could last longer, and
Mhm.
some of the alcohol for the younger ones was less percentage, and from what I understand, less percentage alcohol for the younger ones than
Well,
the
yeah,
older
of
ones.
course. Yeah, yeah.
You know, but if it wasn't for beer, there'd be a lot of Europeans suffering from all kinds of water issues.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to alcohol, we have alcohol. They brought beer to the Mexico too. The Germans to be credited for the beer that came into Mexico. In case
See?
people don't know about some of these beers in Mexico, because
Hmm.
Mexico wasn't doing beers, from what I
What
understand. We were
beer?
doing tequilas.
Yeah.
We were doing hardcore
Uh,
liquor.
I miss
And
tequila.
you get any tequila in that area?
Yeah, no, I have to order it online. I have to order it online, but no,
Shit, at least you can order
yeah,
it, homie.
yeah, true, but yeah, but it's yeah. So I can't go to the store and get like Don Julio or Cazadores or or some.
A
It's just not.
Patron bottle. Hey,
Yeah,
you can't
correct,
go. You
correct,
can't go to
correct.
the 7-Eleven. You can't go
No,
to the
no,
7-Eleven.
they have this brand that's called Sierra Tequila, and I've tried it before, but it's not what Daddy likes.
I mean, I still drink the Milagro one. Milagro's pretty
Yeah,
good,
Milagro's good. Yeah, yeah,
and I like their bottles. And I used to drink. I used to be at Cazadores and Don Julio,
right.
but the last ones that I've been drinking was Milagro. I know they got all
Yeah.
kinds of new tequila coming out. Mexico went strong on the tequila thing. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
uh, they're having all kinds of high expensive alcohol, high expensive tequila bottles and shit like that. It's
Right.
about time they recognize. We're better than some of those whiskeys.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I wish there was more tequila here, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the area that I'm in. I'm sure if I was in a bigger city, or somewhere near a bigger city, I could find more options. But yeah, I would say like things I know, like with like just talking about that, like that's what I miss, like being home or back home would be like food, friends, and family. I don't miss I love, of course, where I'm from, and I love living in Reno too as well. But I don't miss living in the States, if that
It,
makes
it's
sense.
Do you like
Yeah.
the difference in lifestyles over there?
Oh, of course, absolutely, absolutely. I haven't made as little money as I'm making now, but like the work life balance is way better, you know.
As
And I
long as
have
you're happy, as long as you're happy, because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
money
I've,
doesn't bring happiness; it just brings more chaos.
correct. Yeah,
Uh,
and I have a real unique job. A job schedule, so I have a lot of free time in between the days that I work. So I provide care for somebody in a wheelchair, and I have to work my days together. So for example, I'll work from like say Friday evening until like Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, and then I'll have like a week off or 2 weeks off before I have to go back in again
so
for
it's almost
another.
like a 24-hour job when you
It
go in
is a
a whole
24-hour
week.
job, yeah, because he requires around the clock care. But I'm real fortunate too as well. He's real active, so he travels a lot with his work, and so sometimes I get to travel with him too as well. So that's
Yeah,
really neat.
I'm
Yeah.
envious of you, fucker, because I get to see you on Facebook every other week or every other month. I'm over here. I'm over there. Check out where I'm at. I'm like, what the fuck? This fucker. It's so nice to see you traveling, and also maybe your job is paying for it, so it's not big time money out of your pocket.
Right,
Right?
right, yeah, yeah. There's since I've been here, I've gone to I've gone to Egypt. I've been to the Netherlands twice. I just got back from the Netherlands like 3 weeks ago. Went and took a trip with a friend, and actually had a time to explore more cities than just Amsterdam, which was real nice. And then, like a month and a half, or probably about a month ago, a little over a month ago, I was with my boss in Greece. So we visited Athens. I saw the Acropolis.
What's the
Um,
Acropolis? Which one is that one
that's
like?
that's like the old ruins. Like it's just it's oh my god, it's just
The
absolute.
old neighborhood.
Yeah, pretty much.
The ancient
And,
old hood in the
yeah,
hood.
and that's in Athens, and then we were in Thessaloniki, which is a real nice city too as well. And then was like a year and a half, or last year, a little over a year ago, we traveled back to the States, which was nice. And then
Yeah,
that was
fuck,
neat because I traveled to places that I hadn't traveled to before.
I
You
think
know,
I
so
saw
we
you
were
in New Mexico. Well, did you come to New
yeah
Mexico?
Yeah, we were in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C., we were in Charlotte, North Carolina, we were in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then Detroit, Michigan. And it was neat. In New Mexico, we went to the Gathering of the Nations, the powwow, the big powwow
Oh shit.
where all the tribes meet. Yeah, that was probably the best thing
The best
that I
part of it?
experienced back at home at the States, yeah. But yeah, the last trip, the one to Greece, was just fantastic too as well. It was just amazing, amazing. That's all I can say. So yeah, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful that I have a job like that I get to travel to as well.
Yeah, you
So
found a very unique job that allows you to, like I said, it's so cool to see you because I don't think you would have been doing that if you were back here in the States. The radio
no,
station would have
I
sent
wouldn't.
you, you
Yeah,
know.
I was so accustomed to doing radio and just of course, yeah, in my early in my career, and of course late in my career too as well. Always busted my ass in certain ways, but it was like a career that you had to climb the ladder. You had to put in your time and you had to climb the ladder, and I think that I was at a point where it was just like, especially when I got let go from the company that I was working for. Um, you kind of get. I would say the same thing for like tattoo artists too as well. You kind of get into that mode like that's all you know how to do, and that's all you kind of want to do. You're like, oh, well, I don't want to find another job. I tattoo. That's just what I do. I tattoo. For me, it was like I'm on the radio. I do radio. So it was a blessing in disguise because it kind of pushed forces around, and me and my ex at the time decided to make the jump and come back here to where she's from. And it just one of those things where things kind of worked out. And yeah, I wouldn't see myself doing that type of work back in the States. I think sometimes we're too prideful. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that for somebody. It's like, well,
Oh,
if I was,
that kind of job comes with a lot of great benefits from you.
oh,
Just like seeing where you've been to and all that, and the care that you do, it's pretty cool. And
yeah, and also at the same time, like just the work itself, like you gotta kind of be compassionate. I mean, yeah, I'm lucky that I work for somebody that does travel, but there's a lot of people that care for a lot of people that don't travel, and so you still got to think about that too as well, on that side. But I what I was going to say is that I think if I was ever in that situation, I'd want somebody to help me, you know,
we
be
just
able to
saw
move.
somebody in that situation
Yeah,
strolling, and I told Vaca, thanks to that guy, I feel good about my life. That's the only way. What an asshole. I thought I had a rough life. That guy's got a
right,
rough
right, yeah,
life.
exactly, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Vaca was telling me about this artist locally here in Reno who I tattooed a long time ago. He's handicapped on a I don't want to even use the word handicap because this fucker's doing paintings. He's doing paintings and he's doing boxes out here in Reno, and
Hmm.
he's showing off his talent. And to me, it's like motherfucker, that is so fucking cool that he doesn't give up. When I see
Right,
people like that, it gives me more inspiration, and I should be complaining, bitching about my life. I have it
right,
pretty
right.
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
good.
You should be up off your ass doing your shit. That's what you should be doing. Yeah, yeah.
And
Mm.
for tattooing, as you were saying earlier, being a specialist, it was hard breaking away from me from tattooing into building the tattoo chairs
The
and trying to
chair.
do the
Yeah,
online store. And now I'm only doing a little part-time tattooing over at Tidal Wave,
yeah.
just
Hmm.
in case my company takes off again. It was doing pretty good until my shit got hacked.
Right.
And but yeah, it's been a challenge. It's really hard to jump from one train to another. Even though they're very similar trains,
Of
I'm
course.
I'm having a real difficult time. And then I do miss my shop a lot. I do miss all the people that came by. They used to keep me updated of what's going on in the community, what's going on all over the city. I kind of miss that, but at the same time, I'm not hearing the voices no more.
Right.
you
Right.
know, because
Yeah.
sometimes a lot of these people were coming in for therapy. They weren't coming in for
Yeah. Oh,
tattoos.
they tell you their deepest, darkest secrets. It's like a hairdresser. Like if you go to the same person year after year, you start letting, or a bartender. You
Yeah,
start letting your mouth just I can say whatever I want to this person.
yeah. As soon as you start getting drunk, you start spilling the beans.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You ever
What?
have a situation like that, Baca, where clients just tell you just
This CBD infused cream provides targeted comfort with a zesty, refreshing scent. Find your relief today at ktapothecary.com.
Welcome to Graffiti City, your one stop shop for graffiti supplies. From spray paint to markers, caps, and merch, we've got it all. Let's get creative. GraffitiCityNV.com.
All the time.
you're like stop. You're like I don't need to know this.
Yeah, all the time. He fucking hits me. Like, damn it. Like, I didn't even know
Like,
that shit.
that went bad. You're like call the police. That's
I'm like,
just,
fucking, yeah, call the police. What the hell? Like, why are you
yeah.
telling
No.
me? Like, I don't just
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy ass.
Especially when you're tattooing the couple and you get to know what's going on between
Right,
them and
right,
shit like
right. And
that.
they come in on separate appointments and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're getting to hear each other's bullshit. Like this
No, well,
motherfucker's been talking shit the whole
yeah, well,
time.
that's not what she says,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you telling me she fell? Yeah, she was fell, right?
Yeah.
Then she comes in.
Yeah.
This fucker hit me. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
You know.
No, no. We should steer the conversation away from domestic violence because that's nothing to laugh about.
But no, but it's fucked
Yeah.
up because it's like, you motherfuckers, I don't want to know about this. I got my own issues. I got my own problems. And now I got to look at this motherfucker almost sometimes with hatred. Like, I'm not, I'm not good with domestic violence. I'm not okay with that.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
And,
Yeah. No.
any
No.
time of the day that somebody
Like,
would do
yeah.
that to
No.
male or female, I would probably step
Correct.
in
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
break it
No.
up.
No. 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 No.
I
Yeah.
don't even like kicking the dog. You know.
Well, you should kick. You shouldn't kick the dog either.
No, that's what I'm saying. My last dog was
Oh,
a French Mastiff. That fucker was big. I couldn't kick him. He had so much. He had this droopy face. Like, he always looked super
he was
sad.
wrestling you. He
Oh
was
yeah, dude, that
wrestling you.
motherfucker. Hey, tell him about that time I came to the shop with that fucking.
Rap comes in, he walks in the door right in the morning, and is early in the morning. He comes in with scratches on his face, across his face, just
Ooh,
like
One side, like you can see.
big time.
grizzly
What
bear.
the fuck happened? Like, I got scared. Like, what the fuck happened, bro? Like, I couldn't imagine what that
Don't go.
story
Don't
was
go
gonna be.
outside. Don't go outside. There's a
There's a
monster.
bear outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
took I took my fucking dog for a walk. I would take him every day for a morning, and I took this fucker and I had his leash. And all of a sudden he saw a squirrel. And he loves chasing
Uh,
squirrels. And I wasn't prepared. Next thing you know, he went this way, I went that way. My
yep.
face went straight down. And when I hit the floor, right next
He
to me was
dragged
a
you.
fucking rock. Which I could have just hit that rock within about a couple of inches. And I'm like both my hands. And then my dog comes and like, what's wrong? What's happening to you? He comes and licks my face with his lobber and shit. He was a French Mastiff. You know that dog from Tucker and Hooch?
Yeah.
It's one
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
So, oh, that,
Turner and
yeah.
Hooch. Yeah.
Tuner and
Yeah.
Hooch. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker, he would walk me around. He would drag me. I had to be
Lobber.
careful. I had to be careful with him, because he
And
was
you're
just.
not a little guy. You're
No, but still, no, that fucker could still drag me, no problem. He was so strong. He passed away, homie. But he
Oh,
was so strong. He was, man. I love that dog. He was, like I said, I couldn't kick him. I think I kicked
yeah. They'll
Gregor
kick your
more
ass.
than once. But
Yeah.
Gregor was an asshole. He didn't listen. I kept telling him to back off, and he wanted to kill the dog next door. And sometimes, when you're irritated, get out of here, you fucker. And then I felt bad, and my wife, really, did you just kick him out? He don't listen, and it sucks, but it's reality. It happens, It's not something that I feel proud about. I don't.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember. I was watching Bob Ross. I was watching Bob Ross, and he's doing a painting. And then he goes,
Right.
hit the brush really good, get all the stuff. Take all your anger out on the brush. It's better than
On the
kicking the
brush.
puppy.
Right.
And I'm like, did he just say kick the puppy? Better than
Oh,
kicking
did
the
he really
puppy.
say that?
Yeah, he says it's better than kicking the puppy.
Better
You
than kicking the.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, this fucker is funny.
He's talking to. He was talking to you. He was talking to you. He's a fucking
Why
Ralph
do you
over
think
there
I took that
kicking the
episode so
dog.
personal? It's like, damn,
Yeah.
he does know about me. That's
Yeah.
one of my heroes.
Exactly.
Did you ever watch the documentary on Homie?
Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Oh, it's a
No,
sad one. If you watch it's a sad one. It's crazy.
yeah. No.
What happened to him and how they stole his art, they stole his name and shit like that is just fucking crazy. I think there's a documentary on Netflix on
No,
Bob
I
Ross.
have that. I'll have to see if I can find it and check it out.
Yeah, see if you can find the documentary about Ross. It might make you a little mad. But it also lets me know that a lot of.
Anything that has to do with the corporations, taking advantage of an artist is always going to make me mad.
Oh, it's even worse. It's a
Yeah.
CIA guy. It's a CIA guy.
Criminals in action. Criminals in action.
Hopefully they don't come after me. That's our next artist. Let's get them. You know, those are some scary people. Those are some bad people. You know, I
Well then,
watch
shh.
also. I also watched a documentary on Dali. Dali's a trip. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I didn't know that much shit on Dali.
yeah,
Picasso. You
yeah.
know, I watched Picasso. I watched one on. Oh fuck, what's his name? Shawaski. If you get a
Mm.
chance to watch Shawaski, it's called The Struggle. It's on Netflix. You might find it over there. It's a pretty cool documentary about this artist that would put European and pre-Hispanic sculptures together. So you see this
Oh,
kind of like Aztec slash German style. Uh,
right.
he was from
Sculpture.
Poland.
Yeah.
Sculptures, yeah, he did some badass shit, and his documentary is pretty cool. It's called The
Mm.
Struggle. If you get a chance to watch it, I've been watching a lot of documentaries. I've been keeping entertained, just learning about all these great artists and shit like that. I
Yeah.
also been watching how to make bows, how to make arrows, you know, uh, ancient weapons, you know, the cruelty of what men do to each other with weapons and
He's
shit
preparing.
like that.
He's preparing for war.
Yeah, well, I'm still fascinated by the cruelty of men, what they do to each other, and
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. We're pretty cynical and sick sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's trippy. We call somebody else barbaric by us doing barbaric things at the same
Oh
time.
yeah, I didn't visit it, but I know that there's a torture museum in Amsterdam. I
Oh
saw.
shit!
Yeah, yeah. So it's a museum. So it had the history of like and torture devices and different things like that. So yeah,
I
yeah.
I went to
There's a little. There's
Guanajuato.
a little bit of everything for everybody in Amsterdam. It's a wonderful city. It's a
In
wonderful city.
Guanajuato, also saw something like that, a torture chamber area
Hmm.
where the Inquisition happened, where they
Right.
were changing the indigenous of Guanajuato into
Hmm.
Christianity and shit like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy and barbaric. Like damn, and they show you how to get rid of a witch, the special coffins for witches and vampires. They had this coffin that has spikes all on top, so when they shut it down, spikes will go all over to the body. That would make sure the
Right.
witch would not escape or the
Right.
vampire. It was pretty interesting, and Guanajuato. I don't know if you ever traveled to Guanajuato, you ever heard about it, but it's a
No,
fucking
you've
cool
told
ass
me a lot.
city.
You've told me a lot about it, but no, I haven't had a chance to travel there. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. If you ever get a chance, or homie comes to Mexico for business, you should, make a little visit to Guanajuato. The whole
Is that the
city is
place?
a
Is
museum.
that the place where you told me like you walked into like the catacombs, like the caves with the skulls
Yeah.
and stuff like that? Yeah, that's
Well,
what I thought.
no,
You've told me,
there's actually
about
tunnels where
that.
you go under, and then there's also
Yeah.
the Museum of Mummies, where we
Mm-hmm.
have 80 dead mummies. That's
Wow.
the cradle of independence of Mexico. That that's the revolutionary start. The same kind of like what Boston is to the United States.
Yeah.
Guanajuato is that to us,
Mm.
and the whole city is still a museum. There's still mines active there.
And that's where you grew up,
I grew up
or you
about two
spent a lot
hours
of time.
away from there. I
Yeah.
grew up 2 hours, but we've been going to Guanajuato City. Like every time we go down, let's go to the city. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
tourist place, and it's full of art. They also have
Mhm.
the thing called the Cervantino, which is a big art festival. In the last one whole month, they have music, they have acting,
Like
they
that,
have
Burning Man. And that's the whole month.
yeah, yeah. Well, not as now. Burning Man is only 1 week. This
I know.
motherfucker Cervantino is one
Exactly.
month.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. This one lasts the whole month.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's where actually where Indio really
See?
encountered his tattooing career. That's where he.
Mexicanos know how to party. See?
Oh
See?
fuck yeah, bro! I went there. I partied there one time with
How long
Kiko.
is the art fest gonna be? A fucking month.
Yeah, dude. The coolest thing is going down there with my brother, and my brother telling me all these crazy stories about him and Paco going down there and learning all about Cervantino and getting used to it and tattooing at the Cervantino. There was a
Yeah.
little tattoo convention happened there. That's actually he won an award there. You know, it's nicer when you got Indio as my tour guide. You
Oh, of
know,
course, of
and,
course,
and
of
of
course.
course
Yeah,
he speaks
I'm.
a lot better Spanish than I do. Yeah, so he already had places where he was well known or very welcome. You know, it was pretty cool.
I'm
I really enjoyed Guanajuato.
I'm gonna try to catch. I'm gonna try to catch him next time he comes to Germany. I know he comes out here for the Gods of Ink,
Uh-huh.
um, convention, but I don't know if it already happened because I think it happened in April, but I don't think he came out this
Yeah,
year.
I think he was just
Hopefully,
down there maybe, and
yeah,
then he's
yeah,
he's got Viva La Tinta coming up next.
yeah.
He's gonna bring back Viva La Tinta again. You know. But yeah, he's very active on the tattoo. Where I'm gonna try and do a podcast with him now that I can do long distance. I can't
Yeah,
wait to get him on the schedule. This program, this app, is probably gonna help us out because there's a lot of people that we want to interview, and it's hella hard to get them to come into this beautiful studio. It's a studio,
right,
huh, Maca?
right.
Thousands and thousands.
Thousands of dollars we spent on the studio.
Well, welcome to my living room. Welcome to my living room.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty cool.
Oh shit. Hell yeah. All the plaques.
Yeah, if you
Come
ever
on.
decide to open your online store, you know what we were thinking of would be your niche to sell? Transformer toys.
Yeah. I mean, but I
You're
don't
a
want to sell.
Transformer fan.
I don't. I don't want to sell the ones that I have. Yeah.
No, no, you can sell you can make the
Right,
marketing
right,
and drop
right. Oh
ship.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can talk,
yeah.
hey, I just got this one, you guys should get it and this and that. Because I don't think Transformers will ever die. And
No,
you
that's yeah,
know
no, yeah. That's a franchise that's exceeded its initial expectations. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's
so something to think about because it's right up your alley, you
mm-hmm.
know?
True.
Until you figure out the graffiti and how to get all the supplies, and you can open up Graffiti City in Germany. You know, Waka would love to
Yeah.
hear that shit happening. I went to
Oh,
Leon.
we need an international partner. An international
Yeah,
partner.
Yeah, Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Leon, you know, and I was telling people that I wanted to open up a graffiti store over there. And then I looked up Leon. They got two fucking stores. One actually you can come in and tag. They got
Right.
walls inside. You can tag, you can do markers, you can just fucking go crazy in there. And one of them is called Graffiti Gang, and the other one is actually called Graffiti City. You know, and I
Yeah.
thought I was unique. I
Oh
wonder who
no,
copied
no,
who.
that's kind of. I mean, come on now, Graffiti City. You think that other people aren't going to take that too as well? Yeah.
And it was pretty cool to see that and right the next state to Guanajuato we got Querétaro. They make spray paint there 360.
Oh, they
Uh,
make them there. Oh,
yeah, they
I
make
see.
paint there. They have a company that makes paint there, and I wanted to go
Right.
so bad to see if I could uh, figure out what do I have to do to
Get
create an
get
account.
get a distributor deal or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I need to know the numbers, this and that before I start going down there. Because I have a piece of property that I want to make it into like a graffiti slash.
Yeah. You've always had that dream. You've always had that dream. You've always had that dream just to and that's fantastic because there's not many people that I mean now of course, but there's not that many people who want to back the graffiti and the spray paint culture like that, you know, like to even just say stuff like that and try to speak it into existence. There's not a lot of people like, oh, I would love to see graffiti everywhere. A lot of people are like, I want to see that
Yeah,
shit. So
last time I
yeah.
went, it took off like crazy. They have a convention down there. It's called Meeting of Styles, and they have it every year or something. A whole bunch
Mm-hmm.
of graffiti writers get together and they tag up all parts of the
Everything.
city. I mean, Leon
Yeah.
is tagged up, but it big old murals, big old pieces. I mean, you drop that little Google guy on anywhere in Leon, you're gonna see some fucking badass murals all over the city, and so it's
No
pretty
te
cool.
comiste, Saka.
I'm eating lunch, man. I'm like, oh, shit, I'm so hungry. We haven't. Hey, we went to Rav's courthouse. Rav's court
uh,
date today.
Ralph the jailbird. Yeah, yeah.
No, not yet, not yet. I have to go back
Okay, well,
tomorrow.
good. Good. Yeah,
I
yeah.
got me
You're
a
not.
well, they're gonna give me a public defender, and then tomorrow I find out my fate. If I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to have that thing stuck to my car so I can blow on it.
See?
That it was interesting because this would actually be my first. If I get found guilty, this will be my first DUI. But the judge went and told me what happens on the second DUI, what happens on the third DUI.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
you're going too far. I don't need to
yeah,
go that far. I don't want to
yeah,
commit crimes like this no more.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, they kind of give you a
No
little
more.
lecture, like you might want to quit alcohol. And I said, it wasn't alcohol, it was marijuana.
Right,
So let's see. I hope I can get it reduced down to reckless with endangerment or something like that. It's
right.
something that is less than that. And hopefully they don't give me too many fucking. I am gonna ask that if they do want to give me community service, I'm gonna say, can we do a mural for you guys? I'll be as a way to do a community service. Maybe they'll let me do a mural in Yerington for the
Yeah,
city. I
that
know.
means you have to pay. That means you have to paint it, not Vaca.
Well, yeah, but fuck, no, no.
Vaca's like, I didn't get the DUI.
I didn't
I
yeah,
have to pay. I don't have
I didn't do
to
that.
I didn't agree to this.
Oh,
Well, why can't
well,
come and at least yell
we
at me?
we we can do a mural for you.
No, I didn't. I wasn't. Well, I was planning on having vodka there, but now that you put it, yeah, vodka should not be punished. But he wasn't the right with me, laughing as I was getting arrested.
Hey, I'm just a passenger. Just a passenger.
It was funny. Yeah, yeah. I guess I deserve it too.
He was my partner in crime on that trip, so he needs to be there, Your Honor. You know. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll see what I can do. Or they might just have me do all this stuff. I just hope I don't get stuck and 2 years probation or shit like that, because I
Right.
would hate that. Having to
Oh,
check in
well,
or
think positive thoughts. Well,
oh yes,
just yeah.
I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray to the
Well,
marijuana gods.
we'll tape our thumbs. We'll tape our thumbs. So you guys cross fingers in the States, but here, at least in Germany, I don't know if it's all of Europe,
Oh
but
shit, they got a different
they
thing,
they say they tape their thumbs. Yeah, they say, "Oh, I'll tape my thumbs for you." Uh
huh?
oh.
Oh, you're not supposed to use hand gestures, something like that. Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting.
oh, did the camera automatically do that?
Yeah, I guess it kind
Yeah.
of like I guess sometimes they consider the gang affiliated. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, definitely not no gang. I'll tell you that much.
I
Definitely
heard I,
not.
heard- I heard some stuff about doing the thumbs up. It means derogatory in other countries
Well,
or something
what
like that.
about people who use sign language? So that's unfair. I mean,
Oh, that's gonna be that thing probably pops up every 10 minutes. Click, 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 click. That's gonna be interesting. Maybe we should find out, or
right?
you know. But yeah, let's
How
not
long have?
let's not let's not use our hands that way
Yeah.
because
Okay.
apparently
Yeah. We won't. I won't do that anymore.
we
So yeah.
just
So
got our
speak.
first warning.
Yeah. So but yeah. When it blacked out, how long have you been recording so far?
It's 47 minutes. That's not bad.
Okay. That's pretty
We can
good.
we
Yeah.
can. Usually we've been doing an hour. On some people
Yeah.
we do 2 hours. I shoot for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so that way we don't run out of stuff to talk about, or we can leave stuff for another episode. We need to
Right.
have you maybe do one on the monthly or something like that. Just we can catch up with what's going on in Germany when it comes to what you're eating over there. What kind of foods do you go to? Do you go to bars? Do you go to restaurants? Do they have
I
fast food?
I don't necessarily partake like in the nightlife, like I
Uh-huh.
mean, yeah, I I think I look good for my age, but shoot, I'm 48, so I'm not necessarily
That's
You
not.
look
bars.
great.
Hey, come on, that's not for you to decide. You just put
That's not
yourself out there. That's the girl's decision. Let them decide where you're at. Of course, we look in the
true.
mirror, we look ugly and this and that.
Very.
It's not. It's not for you to look feel that way. It's for you to put yourself out there, and you might catch some girl's eye, and
Yeah, but I got a kid. I don't know. Like it just. I always just
doesn't
feel like
matter. I mean, that
I got
doesn't
I
mean
got I got my feel of the
don't get
clubs as
married,
far as
but just at least have a little
from
relationship or
the
a little
radio.
fun. You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you're gonna come home with a stepmother and put your kid through hell.
Wow. No, probably not. Probably not. But
Hopefully not.
yeah.
But
No,
I would.
it's just for me right now. Bars is just not my spot. Like I
No,
like
wait. I haven't
yeah.
hung out in bars and shit, but it's kind of like I just want to find out, like, do they have fast food? Do they have the little paletero on the street? Do they have
No,
anybody?
there's I mean, there's no paletero, but I mean, yeah, of course you get your fast food. So like where I live in a village. So our village only has like 600 people in it.
Oh shit, that's
But
a real tiny village.
yeah, it's a village. It's a village, and but we're really close to other larger villages and towns. So the main town is Hamlin. So it's the story from the Pied Piper. You know
Oh
the story
yeah,
of the
that's the Piper. That's where it originated.
yeah, exactly. So the guy that runs the rats out of town, and then the townspeople they don't want to pay him when he comes back. He's like, hey, I rid all the rats, and back then they're like, oh, well, we're not going to pay you, and then so he decided to come back and play his song, and he took all the kids.
Oh shit,
And
that is evil.
yeah. I took all the kids, and so of course, it's an old fairy tale. So, but that town is less than 5 miles away from where I live, so it's not that far, and it probably has, I want to say, around 70,000, 80,000 people. So
So
it's not a small town, you
yeah, it's
know.
kind of like the size of Sparks or the size of
Correct.
Carson. Yeah,
Probably like
Carson.
Carson
Let's compare
City
it to Carson.
if you're familiar with Carson City in Nevada. Um, but then the capital city of the state that I live in, Hanover, is only about by car, only about 35, 40 minutes away. And in that area, oh, they, I, I could be estimating wrong, but I think, probably about 700,000 people around in that area, 800,000
Oh,
people. So yeah. So it's a big city too as well. And but yeah, don't quote me on that number, but I know it's definitely a larger city because it's the capital of Niedersachsen where we live. And um, yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to do there. There's a lot of art to see. There's museums around there, and I really just enjoy seeing all the old architecture here in Germany and just in Europe in general, because you realize like how old things are. It really, like, yeah, I'm very, very happy that I was born in America and in the States, but also when you travel, you realize how young um, um, the country is. As you
yeah,
look at all
America
the
is like a little teenager. It's
yeah,
barely a
like a little,
teenager
not even a
compared to
toddler,
these.
a little
Yeah,
toddler
a
for
little
real.
taller compared to Germany, compared to China, compared to Egypt.
So
These are old
the
ass
church,
countries.
so there's a church just right down the way from where I live, the apartment right across the street. So the church was built sometime in the 1300s. The
Damn.
oldest house in my village is only two houses away. So there's a house in between two houses in between it from where I live to the oldest house. And that house was built, I think, in the late 1500s.
Holy shit! Like, who builds new houses? Do the people build new houses in that area? Are you allowed to build a new house, or is it they have
Well,
a big
yeah,
no?
people do build new houses. They're even adding a little like cul-de-sac. I'm sure it's not going to look like a cul-de-sac, but in the village they're building, I think, like, let me see, 3, 6, maybe like 10 new houses, like in a little plot of land. So
That's a
they
big
do build,
expansion.
but what's really neat, at least what I think is really neat. So like if you go to the mall or the Stadtgalerie here in Hammond, I think it's neat because you're actually in the old square where everything used to be back in the day, and they didn't like tear down the buildings. They put new stores in the old buildings, so
Okay.
it's not like what you see a lot in the States where they tear a building down and they build something new.
Yeah.
It's like they keep something old and they just put something new in there. So you'll go, say, for example, you'll be in some big larger city and you'll see like a Burger King in like an old looking building
No,
or
look.
set of buildings, because they don't tear stuff down. They just, or a Subway or something like that.
Yeah, here
So
they're
yeah.
tearing down places and coming out with that Dutch. What's it? What's that? The coffee place, Dutch Bros or whatever.
Dutch Bros.
Yeah, they're building
Dutch
those
Brothers.
Dutch Bros like crazy over here. They tear down the whole restaurant and build a new one, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
United States, it's almost like it's also here they build everything out of cardboard and wood and all
right,
that. Where
right.
over
Yeah,
there,
here
it's
everything is, yeah,
masonry.
is bricks and stone and stuff like that. Even there's times like I'll walk through the village and I just like I'll touch the big stones on like a corner house just because I'm like, man, how long has this thing been here? It's been here
This
forever. It's
is
been here for
history,
hundreds of
and
years.
those
Yeah,
blocks are like this,
yeah,
huh? They're
yeah. Oh
huge.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
huge blocks.
It's
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 like,
really
man,
neat.
you know that bad wolf in that neighborhood was so bad they keep that big wall to keep them from coming in.
So
But
yeah, so to answer your question, yes, there is fast food nearby. There's a McDonald's in Hammond. There's a Burger King. There's two Burger Kings within the area. They have a Subway, and these are just stuff that are American names that you would recognize. There's a few Five Guys in Germany. There's a Five Guys in Hanover, which is the capital city that I'm in. I'm in a lot because my boss works there too. Um, but yeah, so there's some times where I do, but that's like the fast food, like
is it
home
relatively close to the
craving.
same menu?
Now,
Does it taste the same or still a little different?
guaranteed, hands down, I'll tell you, a McDonald's hamburger here tastes way better than a McDonald's hamburger
Well,
back
that's
home.
probably because they're using real meat.
Guaranteed,
Over here, they're using cardboard.
guaranteed, yes, guaranteed. Like yeah, like I mean, I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not saying it's the best, but it tastes better than the McDonald's hamburgers back home. But no, they don't. They don't. They usually don't eat like that. That's more for like tourists and I think maybe even like foreigners, kind of like myself.
Yeah,
You know,
homesick. People that are a little homesick,
people.
they
Yeah,
eat
of
that.
course. Yeah, homesick. Yeah, I mean, yes. Don't get me wrong. When I'm homesick, man, a Whopper fucking hits the spot. Like I like, oh yeah, that takes me back in the
Yeah.
day. Um, they do have a Mexican restaurant in
Oh,
Hammond,
shit.
but
Really?
but since I've lived here in 2020 and it's 2025, it's almost 5 years coming up in November, I still haven't gone because I don't want to be disappointed. So any sort and nothing against the restaurant, it may be good.
Go
I just
try it
haven't.
out. Give us so we could have a discussion about it.
Yeah, maybe I
You
should
can,
take Domi one of these days. Maybe we
yeah, you
should go.
can. That way
Maybe we should go
they
try.
want a Mexican
Yeah,
opinion. They
yeah,
probably want a true
and
Mexican telling them how it is, or compared to Modesto Mexican food. How was it? You
but
know.
I mean, I'm not the best in the kitchen, but if I'm craving it, I'll cook it. I cook it at home. You
They
know.
got tortillas over there. They sell
Yeah,
tortillas.
yeah. I get tortillas and then I order Cholula on Amazon. So yeah, I'm good.
Cholula. we're Valentina. We use a Valentina one.
See, I know Cholula. I love Cholula.
In my
I'll
house, it's funny as hell. We don't have Valentina on that table. My kids go nuts without
go
it. You know,
crazy. Yeah. See,
we're a Valentina family.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
My
always been a
kids,
Cholula guy.
my kids take Valentina in their lunch bags and shit. Or we go to a restaurant. They, really, you
Hmm.
brought a Valentina? Yeah,
Yeah, of
you know.
course, of course. We're at TGI Fridays. You know they don't have Valentina, Dad.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a typical Valentina family in my family. That's cool, man. I can't wait to catch up on more stuff. I think we can call it
Yeah.
a day already. It's already late over there.
Well, we gotta ask Vaca. What about you, Vaca? What kind of salsa do you have on your table at home?
I use Valentina too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, you're Valentina. Okay,
the
so two
big
Valentina
B.
and one Cholula. Okay, all right.
Like I say, he freezes a little bit. Like I say, bro, at least overtalk. It's okay. You can do a little overtalk. Interfere, bullshit, or laugh, fucker.
No, I'm the chair guy.
You're the
I'm the
chair guy.
guy in the chair. That's my title,
Well, yeah,
fucker.
it was
You should
definitely
be.
great. It was definitely great catching up with you guys, and yeah, and I look forward to chatting
We
with you guys
miss you,
again
Rudy. Hell yeah.
if you
Yeah,
want me back. If you want me back on your show, and yeah, it's great out here, and of course, if you guys follow me on my social medias and stuff like that, it's just always Rudy Palominos, and
even
on
a
Instagram. On Instagram, it's Rudy underscore Palominos. But yeah, I always just say positive things and wish you guys much success and spread love and just just got to make sure that we make this world a better place and
yeah, and no more hand gestures. That was weird. Caught us doing hand gesture. We were just talking
I'm,
about a little bit of difference of stuff. Don't do
oh,
that.
I think well maybe because that's also okay. We could talk. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it
Yeah,
later.
we
But
might talk about that on Messenger, so
well,
that way
no,
we
yeah,
don't we
I
don't
think
get
I think
flagged.
maybe it mistook it for one of those hand gestures when somebody takes somebody
Oh,
and it's like a silent
you're
thing.
asking for help, Vodka. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, correct,
asking for help.
correct, correct.
He's
Yeah,
holding
it's
me
yeah,
hostage or something
yeah,
like that. You seen
yeah, a
those
silent.
on? Uh,
Right, because
interesting.
it's like where you put your thumb in your palm and then you wrap your fingers around your thumb like it's like somebody's taking you. So yeah, so maybe the program mistook what I did for that. So
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're
I'm just
right.
yeah,
it's very
yeah.
interesting. We're learning about this program. You're actually the second episode on this program. The
Cool,
first one
cool.
was my mom. She was the trial, and I did a thing with my mom. I couldn't figure out how to do some of the other stuff. So hopefully we should have this in about maybe 2 or 3 days. Let's see if I can edit it and put it out there and stuff like that. I'm gonna try and have my sponsorships in there because I could put that in my mom's podcast. So we'll see if
Got it.
we can do that on this one and put some
Cool,
stuff up there.
cool,
So
cool.
I'll send you the link as soon as we're done, homie, so you can check
All
it
right,
out and,
cool.
and
Yeah,
tell your
yeah, of
friends
course,
and
of course.
family.
So we're done here. Yeah,
Yeah,
on this.
yeah, we're done. All right,
You guys
you
want?
guys have a nice one. Say goodbye to Rudy, all the way from Germany. Peace
All
out.
right, all right.